I'm Brandon, and I'd like to go to Norway for Christmas.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'd also love to go to Norway for Christmas.
I'm Alonso, and I'm pining for the fjords, and this
is the Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, boy.
How are we doing today? Festive Friday.
How could you not be in a good mood? You know what I mean?
That's it. I'm feeling great.
That's right.
I'm feeling great right now.
I will say this. I was feeling better thinking I was about to get the second edition of Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas. And it turns out I'm not. Alonso?
There's been a delay.
You're getting it. You're getting it.
I was supposed to get it this week, though.
From what here's what I've been explained. What was explained to me by the publisher, that if you are they only have like 2 drop dates a month, and if we were like the tiniest bit late for the September 4th drop, then Amazon would have canceled all the pre-orders. So as a just to play it safe, they pushed it to September 18th, but apparently the books are in the warehouse. They are ready to get sent out. So if you pre-ordered it and they said it's not coming till the 18th, you might get it before the 18th, after the 4th.
So
it's also happening.
There's a real solid chance, and I don't want to put this out in the universe, but I think this is the year we've earned this. We deserve this.
What are we getting?
There's a really good chance that the second edition of the second edition of Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas by our dear Alonso Duralde could be delivered to your doorstep the same day that the Hallmark Count to Christmas schedule's released.
Oh,
which that would be
what a time to be alive.
That would be the Thursday they usually do.
Well, hold on, Alonso. You have to make your prediction. Do you want to put a prediction out there of what day the calendar comes out?
Oh my gosh! You know what? I'm not ready. I'd have to look at last year's logistics and figure out, did it drop on a Thursday?
It was like a Thursday the month before, roughly September 18th.
All right, then yeah, I'll say September 18th because it'll be about
everybody's
a month
doing
October
it apparently.
17th. Yeah.
Oh man,
everyone's doing it. I didn't do that.
Hot day.
I did the 16th, I think, or something like that, or
you're gonna
17th.
lose that free set of snake.
Go wild,
knives.
go crazy.
I know. I'm going crazy. I wanted a day early. Call me crazy.
Yeah, call me crazy.
Call me crazy.
Well,
You're manifesting it into the world.
It helps us for it to be on a Thursday because that's kind of our most flexible day around here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're kind of just like willing the Thursday of it all. And then we can do a fun line-orama with your book. If I've got your book in hand and we're doing the live schedule drop, we can interrupt the live schedule drop for an occasional like page 53, line 6. Like that would be fun.
I do.
Absolutely.
Why not? I like that a lot. But the people, they can still pre-order the book, and then it'll get there sometime in between probably the 4th and the 18th.
That's right.
Exactly. In that window. But yeah, pre-order it wherever you buy books, be it online, be it your favorite brick and mortar bookseller, bug your library about getting a copy, whatever it takes.
Do you know, and this may
Muffin Man.
be a better question for Rig, but is Fitzy's on board this year with selling the book?
I have sent multiple emails. It turns out they still have a fax machine.
Yes,
I sent faxes,
they do.
and nothing yet. But
We offered one Mr. Duralde our finest book and mortar agreement is what we have.
What's the agreement?
So he shows up with his books and we throw like wet cement at people.
What? Wait, Alonso, you didn't get this?
It's a book and mortar.
Yeah,
Join us for this month's book and mortar. Alfonso Duralde in Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas, Volume 2.
I think my agent intentionally didn't show me that.
Who doesn't want a little building with their book? You know what I mean? It's book and mortar.
Who?
Pretty straightforward.
Who was it? The last book and
The
mortar?
Secret.
The Secret? You got the author of The Secret?
You got it. Yeah, that's what she said she was.
To show up and throw wet cement?
Yeah, book and mortar. You get it. See, it's pretty straightforward.
I do get it.
Book and mortar.
Thank you, Wrigley.
You're welcome. Good luck with your book, with or without us, I guess.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get a signature drink. That'd be exciting.
What is this? What is this month's special?
With this month's special?
Yeah.
It's a rum and coda.
What does that mean?
It's there's Morse code, and and you've gotta determine the Morse code, and you send in that signal, and they make you a drink with rum in it and whatever you coded them.
Wow.
So if you mess it up, it could easily go south on you.
So wait, this is
rum and coda.
You come into the bar.
Yeah.
You do the Morse code.
You do a Morse code.
Is someone receiving the Morse code?
Yeah,
Is the
back in the
bartender
back.
receiving? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
It comes up on the POS system on the ticket.
Wow.
That's right.
What POS system do you use?
Daryl's.
Okay. All right. Love you, buddy.
Every month we try to have a book and mortar though, if you want to stop by.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, at Fitzy's, they didn't know that POS stood for point of sale.
Yeah, they thought it meant piece of you know what, which you can't say around here.
Which Daryl? Yeah, now that makes sense.
Yeah,
I was a little
Daryl
confused.
brought in his old bag of a machine, and that's what we've been using on our POS. Yeah, but there's some weird stuff that happens with the rum and coda. We try to keep it between the.
What do you
buoys,
mean weird stuff?
Like people order a rum with weird things.
Oh, okay. Like what's the weirdest thing someone's
My
ordered?
pants.
We're talking the Snow. We're talking the Snow Sister today. A Netflix movie that we did not get to last year.
Hey, Snow
that I didn't see promoted. I didn't when I opened up Netflix during the holiday season. It was either the Hot Frosty or Chad Michael Murray with his shirt off. No,
they always really promote the good ones.
Yeah,
that's what I know about Netflix.
No Snow Sister, no Snow Sister be found.
We had to watch Chad Michael Murray keep his pants on.
That
was our holiday season.
That's right. Let's talk about the Snow Sister. November 29th, 2024 is when it premieres on Netflix around the world, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with a boy named Julian telling us that he's going to tell us a story about someone named Hedwig. It's Christmas time, and Julian isn't in the Christmas spirit. This is the first Christmas since his big sister, Uni. I guess I have to stick with it. If I'm going to go Uni,
one or the other there,
Uni,
Paul, one or the other.
When his big sister Uni passed away, Julian goes for a swim in
Just
the pool.
Julian and Junie. Help us all out.
No, I'm not going to. And goes swimming in the pool. When he comes out for air, he sees a girl waving at him through the window. When he goes to leave, she's waiting for him, and he introduces himself and then she tells him how impressed she is with his swimming. They walk through a Christmas market, and she thinks about how she absolutely loves Christmas. Julian says that he doesn't care for Christmas, and she just doesn't believe it. Gives him a hard time about it, which he does not take well. They argue for a little bit, and then they go their separate ways. She runs after him before he gets too far and apologizes. She says that she wants to be friends and invites him to her house for hot cocoa, and maybe even her Christmas display at her house will get him in the Christmas spirit. He decides to walk away, but clock the address for later. He gets home and it's just sadness. His little sister asks about where the Advent candles are, and that makes Mom sad. Everybody is real sad. The next day, he's back at the pool hoping to see Hedwig again, but she does not show. He remembers the address from the day before and tracks down the house, and it is magical. It's just decorated as much as she said that it was, and she's not even done decorating yet. There are still decorations to add to the, you guessed it, bathroom and storage closet. She goes to grab a nail to hang something up on, and Julian realizes that these white ice skates that are hanging up begin to turn black as he's like looking at them more. When she gets back, they go back to white. I'm sure it's nothing.
Yeah,
no big deal here. They drink some hot chocolate, and we find out that Julian's birthday is Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. He tells her that there's just no Christmas in their house this year. It is too hard for his parents. She encourages him to be the example. So Julian goes home, dusts off that Advent candle set, lights 3 candles. His parents show up, and they smile at first, but then the sister says maybe if we light the 4th candle, Uni might come back. that parents struggle with that one. They struggle with that one. The next day, Julian and Hedwig play in the snow, building a snowman together, as well as a snow sister. Hey, snow sister. And they enjoy the snow together. The next day, Julian brings Hedwig a gift, her very own swimsuit, because she talked about how impressed she is with his swimming, but she doesn't know how to do that. As they go to leave, this scary man walks up with keys to the house. Julian is very confused by this man and why he is there, and asks if she's scared that a scary man is walking around her house. And she says, "No, I'm not scared, not of that man." That's all you needed to know about that. He teaches her how to swim, and she gets the hang of it very quickly until she gets to the deep end and begins to sink, almost as if she's being pulled to the bottom. Julian saves her, and she says that she's not sure that she's ever going to be able to do it. Julian follows the old scary dude to this Christmas card factory that he works at. He picks out a card and then asks about why he was at the house. He tells him, he yells at him basically like, "Don't talk about the house," and tells him to go. Julian and Hedwig go ice skating, and by that I mean Julian goes ice skating. She is afraid of the ice, doesn't want to go out there. Afterwards, they drink hot cocoa, and he tells her all about his sister, Uni. The next day, he tries to get her to open up to him, and she won't do it. He tells her that he doesn't want to be friends with her if she's not going to open up to him, and suddenly she vanishes. He goes to her house, and it is dark. No Christmas anywhere. The old scary dude shows up. He tells him that he used to live at this house with his sister before she died, and her name was Hedwig. She died when they were kids, when she fell through the ice while ice skating. Julian tells him that about his sister and how she died, and they use pictures that he has of her to make a ton of Christmas cards. Julian runs home, hangs up these Christmas cards in his house, and tells his parents that he doesn't want to forget about his sister. He doesn't want to act like nothing happened. He wants to remember her. He then runs off to the cemetery to find Hedwig's gravesite. He apologizes to her, and she shows back up. He tells her that her brother thinks that she's sticking around because she's mad at him. She says that that's not true at all. They decide that it is finally time for her to go for good. He grabs the skates from the closet, and they head to the ice. She skates until the snow ghost comes down from the Northern Lights, you know the one, to take her away. The movie ends with Julian coming downstairs on his birthday to find his parents have decorated for Christmas. They go to Christmas service where Julian sings, and then he goes outside to have a snowball fight with his friend. And that, my friends, was The Snow Sister.
We did it.
We did do it. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about a 2024 Netflix Christmas movie that we did not get to last holiday season, a Norwegian Christmas movie called The Snow Sister. Let's share our thoughts on it. We're going to start with a hot takes where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back, and I will start with you, Alonso. Alonso, what'd you think of The Snow Sister?
First, quick point of clarification. The snow ghost, as you called her at the end, that's Junie, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
Junie is in the Aurora Borealis. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Just wanted to be clear on that. This is quite lovely. I love a kids movie about death.
I am who I am.
Can't get them started too early
list.
on that, as far as I'm concerned. It's beautifully done. I have to admit, there were times where I thought this would be a really great 50-minute TV special. I feel like they sort of drag out some of the reveals long. I mean, maybe kids, it's all new to them, but I felt like I saw a lot of this coming. It's like, oh, it's going to turn out that this is about. But that aside, the kids are really charming and giving good performances, and the movie is not soft pedaling the grief aspects, but also, fully letting joy exist as well. And I'll tell you, Netflix has me really wanting to go to Norway for Christmas. They have a series called Home at Christmas that I am a big fan of. There's been 2 seasons. They're dropping a third one this holiday season. And it's also set in Norway. And there's also all those like great markets and the things in the streets and everything, and just all the snow. So all of that works for me. So yeah, this was a lovely surprise.
I agree, Alonso. This was so good. What a beautiful movie. The scenery, obviously beautiful. The score, beautiful. The performances by these kids, beautiful. Like just a truly wonderful surprise. Obviously, big sads in this movie. And I think if you go in knowing that it's big sads and you are okay with that, this movie will work for you. It is because it's big sads with this like push through of hope at the end. Like this, we do get there. And sometimes that's just how life works sometimes. And it is truly a wonderful movie. The performances by these 2 kids that kind of lead the way here were so good. Like this actor who plays Julian, his like control over his facial expressions was really impressive. Like he's doing a lot of work here. Like he is this kid who is dealing with grief, who is having fun, who is dealing with his parents' grief. And like all of these different things that this kid works through in this movie, I thought he just did such an amazing job of not only like acting, but just showing us that with his face a lot of the time was really impressive. So yeah, big fan of this movie. Thought it was great. Dan?
Yeah, if we judge this on the have we seen this kind of thing before, then yeah, the tires are pretty bare here. If we judge it on based upon what we normally watch on this podcast, this movie soars. The kids are unbelievable in this movie. I love, most of what we love about Christmas has some sort of direct tether to memories or death or something that is no longer the case. Like I know that that's a downer for some people, but the reason it's so important is because a lot of it is stuff we don't have anymore or we like to think about, and that gets us back in the Christmas spirit. And this movie handles that very much head on. And I think, and I agree with you, Alonso, that the reveals are so telegraphed, and I felt like that was on purpose. Like it had to be. Like she's drowning in a pool and there are 2 adults that don't blink an eye. Like they don't blink. And so if she's real, you kind of know early on in this movie that I thought was maybe this old guy's daughter. Turns out it's his sister. But this idea of he's dealing with death, and so someone was sent to him that's also dealing with death, makes a lot of sense. Having said that, as formulaic as this movie turns out to be, when it hits, man. When all those pictures go up, and we'll get to the feels in a second, it hits. The speeches that are given in this movie hit. I think Coco is maybe the best Pixar movie ever made, because it does such a great job of talking about the importance of remembrance and what it means to remember. But this movie hits those notes very, very well. And there's just a sense of melancholy over the whole thing. So it doesn't surprise you. I think that's probably why it was super palatable to Bran it never comes out and skips through the daisies and Christmas ho-ho fun times. From the beginning of this movie, there is a sense of wonder because of how beautiful Norway is, but melancholy permeates the entire environment, the entire habitat, the mise en scène, if you will. It does. And so there's no, you are given permission as the viewer to be sad and revel in that as a joyous celebration, just as though you want Julian's parents to do so at the end of this movie. So a lot to like here, and some really good performances.
Let's get to the feels. We're talking about what in this movie gave us feels. Alonso.
Oh yeah, feels aplenty. And to piggyback on what Dan was saying, yeah, I think that there is an element of nostalgia that is always baked into Christmas. And as Don Draper so memorably reminded us, nostalgia literally means the pain of an old wound.
That's right. Yeah.
And so as much as whenever we think about the past and the people who aren't with us anymore, like there is always that sort of ache involved. And then obviously, when a Christmas is happening, when that ache is still very fresh, that wound is still very new, it's that much harder to deal with. I would love to have a therapy group involving like these parents and the ones from Christmas and Legos, the mother who was dealing with the death of her own daughter. So yeah, no, plenty of feels here from, as you say, Bran, the lead kid is really performing, this sort of weight of sadness and the burden of that, especially during the holiday season, trying to like elevate things for his sister, but still grappling with it himself and dealing with the parents and their inability to move past it. Hedwig like comes on like a house of fire because like, as we find out later, like she hasn't spoken to anyone in decades. So she's so thrilled that somebody can finally see her. But, she finally, as the film progresses, tempers a bit. And, you get to see the kind of the undercurrent of melancholy there. And as you understand, what her real story is, obviously Henrik is carrying around a weight, but you get the sense that the boy is helping with that in terms of allowing him to finally address, the passing of his sister and whatnot. Even though I saw it coming, like the moment where you see the winter nest without the Christmas decoration, it's like when it's like seeing George Bailey's house in Pottersville, where it's all still crumbling and falling apart and not, brought back to life by Mary. So yeah, the no shortage of feels here.
Yeah, two things. One, I think we've all talked about at this point. What a beautiful place to have a movie, a Christmas movie. Like all that snow. When they walked through that market for the first time, I out loud I said, "Oh my gosh!" Like just wow. And then like the ice skating scene is so beautiful. Like where she's looking out at him, and this ice skating rink with like the ocean in the distance,
an infinity pool ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Insane. As the sun is setting, holy cow! Like it's hard to make a bad movie when that's your backdrop. And then one little thing that I really loved, like this little thing they did, is early on in the movie, Julian's sister comes to sleep with him because she can't sleep, and he's like kind of annoyed by it, and it's like, don't bring all of your toys in here. Then he remembers later that was a thing that his sister did for him, and that she like was always happy to have him. And when she comes back a second time, he's cool with it, and he's like he's so happy to let his sister sleep with him, and that worked, man. That works. Dano?
Yeah, there's a point in this movie where he goes to the old guy's house, who's the card maker, and they make a bunch of Junie cards. The sister that has passed away, that he's lost, and then he strings them up all over his house. It is like, it's borderline spiritual, like this idea that joy, like you can't control joy. Like he puts one picture up and lights one candle, and the parents go crazy. Like, we don't want to see this. We can't think about this. And his response, instead of to be like, I got to honor their sadness, is like, joy is going to, the night is always darkest before the dawn. Joy is going to burst through. And he just goes, you know what? I'm 9 years old. I don't know how old he is. However old he is, he strings the house with all of these beautiful cards. The parents go in, and he's just like, you can't, as Kirk Franklin would say, you can't take my joy, brother. Like, you can't do it. You can sit here, mom and dad, and listen to me go, these are the things I remember about my sister. And I got to be honest, man, if it doesn't work for you, just check around for your soul somewhere. And it's coming, and it doesn't matter. This kid regaling his parents on just the sheer joy of having a sibling and being a family, and how that means we move on. And that's what this, sometimes we do this thing where it's like, they would have wanted us to blah, blah, blah. This is like one of the purest, most authentic versions of Junie would have wanted us to celebrate Christmas. Yeah. And then you cut to them decorating that tree. Whew, I know, I get it. This is how you do this. There's a reason that formula works. And when it hits like this, it hits very well. Did we take a little too long to get there? Yeah. Was it formulaic? Sure. That doesn't take away from the punch. Yeah. That punch is there, and it really, really works.
And to your, like, the parents in this movie, like, I can't imagine, and I don't really want to imagine losing a kid while also having to parent my kids. Like, no one's ever gonna get that right 100% of the time. And clearly, like, these parents, I'm sure, are gonna look back at this moment and be like, we didn't handle that great, right? And one of the dynamics that's so interesting in these parents is the mom is clearly wants it to be one way. The
Correct.
dad
is trying to support her.
There's moments where he's kind of siding with Julian, and then like he's now trying to also support his wife, and what she needs is like
he gives a really subtly great performance where a smile will like crack through occasionally.
A balancing act. Yeah.
And he's like, no, like this is important to my wife. Like it's a very tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. The house full of the images of the sister. And it's like it's like at the end of the Manchurian Candidate where they have the deck that's all Queen of Diamonds. It's just like just shocking you into like you are gonna like, you know,
it's
break
one
out
of my
of this.
few wait what's in this movie, which we'll get to. I think you can piece it together.
Ditto, yes.
But it's exactly, this movie already deals in the supernatural, so I'm fine with it. But it like, you know, at the end of Coco, when all of those pictures of the family are on this mantle and it's this massive wall, like I think there's something about that visual representation of memory that's so, it just is very moving.
Yeah.
And I think this kid just is unbelievable. This movie made me actively angry at some of the Hallmark kid actors. Like I told Bran, I was like, whatever the process is in Norway versus Hallmark, it's just the reverse. And Hallmark is like, we need a kid. There's one outside. Quick, lasso him.
I will say, like,
here it's like, let's pick. They must have had thousands of kids audition. This kid is unbelievable.
Yeah, I will say, obviously, they're not giving the Hallmark kids a ton to work with, right? Like it's tough. Obviously, this would be
rehearsal
like,
time.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's a lot working against the
Listen.
kids. But even so,
But when little Julian comes in and he gives that speech as one tear falls from his eye, it's not fair, man.
No,
it's good. Like the whole life you've been eating pizza in pizza buffet, and then somebody gives you a real pizza. You're like, what in the world?
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the way what the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about The Snow Sister from Netflix. Today, it's time for the Wait What. It's where we talk about what in this movie about grief as a child made us go, wait, what? And I will start with you, Alonso.
I didn't really buy it.
Tear it apart.
I don't think kids really get sad. They're resilient.
Do children have souls? I don't know.
Rub some dirt on it.
I mean, look. Do a lap. Look, ghost rules apply in the same way that Santa magic rules apply.
Yeah.
So big swaths of this, we just have to like go with it. I probably have the same major wait what as Daniel, which is, okay, Hendrik is a talented artist, clearly, but boy, they crank out those Junie cards real fast.
Yeah. They make a
design to printing to drying, like boom.
This guy has its own printing press and it's a hand crank, and he makes 50, 60? How many cards was that? A lot.
Of varying styles.
Designs.
Of all different styles. Drawings of photographs. And he makes them all in one night, and then they
watercolor paints.
They string them all up in one night. And that is, if we can't believe in that Christmas magic, then I don't want Christmas magic to exist.
That's right. That's right, Dano.
It is for sure a Christmas miracle, no question.
Gosh. Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like everything else, I thought pretty, they played it pretty close to the vest. We didn't mention, by the way, the friend who, bless his heart, is like trying to like be supportive and can think of nothing but talking about the weather. He's lovely too.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. I was how old is Julian, you think?
I was thinking 9 or 10.
Yeah. Like a young lad, right? I was that age once. You would have had to tell me that address, even to this day.
Yeah. That's a
you
you
make
problem.
fun of me all the time because I just
Regularly.
don't. You can, sometimes you get like texted codes and stuff, and I'll like have to tell Dan one time and he's got it, and I'm like, give me the last two like a couple more times, and it's like a 5-digit code. Wouldn't have happened. I would have never found that house. I would have been wandering the streets of Norway being like, Where's the house? Where is it?
Also, there's a scene here where the kid's food is touching, and Brand would never.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of hurdles here for Brand.
Speaking of things that I wouldn't have had.
These are mountains to climb.
I wouldn't have had this.
Memorizing an authentication code.
Right. I wouldn't have had this ability as a 10, 11, 12-year-old boy when a friend of mine doesn't want to open up to me about their feelings. I wouldn't have been like, I'm not going to be your friend if you don't talk to me. As an 11, 12-year-old boy, I would have been like, whoa, pump the brakes with the feelings, brother. Like, I don't need that. What, like this, the emotional availability of this kid is unbelievable. I don't even know if I'm there yet.
Well, but if you had divulged and then they didn't divulge back, I think you'd be annoyed about that.
The parents are wild in Norway. This kid is
he's out and about, man. He's wheeling and dealing.
And when he does this whole display of thousands of cards in the living room and gives this speech, he then says, "Okay, bye," and
then
runs
he just
away.
takes off. Yeah.
Like, and the parents are like, "Well, he's gotta go." After this like emotional speech by this kid, they're just like, "He's got stuff to do. He's got some things he has to do."
Right? 7. He can't get.
Should we go after him?
Involving his friend, the old man that we've never met.
That's right.
He's got to go see an old man about a card.
Should we go talk to him about like the big speech he just gave us, or let him go to the cemetery by himself? Yeah. And then last but not least, the movie does end in like, I don't know if it's a church service or what it is, but the kids are up there singing, surrounded by candles, open flames all over the place, which again, I was a kid once. Before, during, and after that service, there is always that temptation to just run around, right? Get that energy out. And that is not something you want. You don't want those open flames out around the kids that have that pent up Christmas energy in them. A candle is going to fall, I can guarantee it. Dano?
I wrote down when they go swimming for the first time, this is as quickly as anyone has ever adapted to a swimming pool on their first try. Yeah. And then it turns out she's a ghost, and that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is how Julian becomes Dan Jansen overnight on the ice skating rink. There's no pizza, French fry here. There is this kid without anyone on the ice. Like, Aaron Shea got to watch us try to ice skate. And we'd done it before. Like, we look like just stuttering fools. This kid has never ice skated and gets on the rink. And by the time he's 30 feet away, he's in full stride. No problems at all. I mean, there's clearly some Christmas magic going on there because Junie is crushing the skating rink on his first try.
Look, ice skating is like swimming standing up. I think we can all agree.
If you think about it that way, both do involve water of some form.
I do.
And she hasn't been in a pool before, but she has been underwater before.
Man, he loves the dead children movies. There he is. He's Alonso Duralde.
Because that's how she died.
Henrik is a guy that hates Christmas and has denounced it, but spends his days making Christmas and Christmas adjacent cards. And I don't understand that for the life of me. Like, my sister died and I'm mad and I'm angry. What Christmas card can I make next?
Hey, he knows where the money is.
He's got a vision.
I am going to crank out these holiday cards as fast as I can. I hate Christmas. I hate it.
He was on the 9s, but now he's on the printing press.
Right. Yeah. And lastly, we find out from Hedvig, who brings snacks, ghost baked goods, which great. I want
the best kind.
The best kind. The donuts she made are healthier than the cookies she made. And it's good to know. It's good for me. I mean, like, is that across the board, or is that just the one? Like, what's in the like?
Maybe they're whole grain.
She didn't say it like it was on the card. She wasn't like, I guess we'll eat the. She was like, let's eat the donuts first. They're healthier. There's that much of a distinction between the two that I wasn't aware. They're both dough.
If you can't take your nutritional tips from a dead 10-year-old girl, I don't know who you're going to trust.
Exactly right. I can't trust anybody out there.
What if I told you that donuts?
It's so funny. Like, the sequel is Junie realizing that the donuts weren't healthier.
He's developed a donut.
What else did she lie about?
He's developed a donut addiction, and he just was like, she said it was healthy.
Those cookies had flaxseed in them. I should have known from the get-go.
It's time for What the Hallmark is, where we wonder what could have been. Maybe have it goes to clear any questions we still have. What are we still wondering about? I'll start with you, Alonso.
I would like to think that at some point, Henrik is kind of taken in by Julian's family, because he seems real
He's at the
alone.
service at the end.
Yeah, and so I like the idea that they welcome him into to celebrations, and that he's basically less alone in the world. And who knows, maybe that he finally fixes the winter nest back up, because as we know, that house can be real gorgeous when it is at its prime.
I don't know very much. I know very little
That's
Norwegian
accurate, yes.
folklore. It is not my specialty.
Yule lads.
Yeah. The
Danish, but not Norwegian.
Is the Northern Lights always
Spiritual.
Like, is that a like this happens? The Northern Lights show up. Snow. Ghost of Uni brings up the Hedvig, and it's a thing, and then the Northern Lights go away. Is that a true like folklore of the Norwegians? I don't know that. Maybe it's just something they did in this movie and I'm overthinking it, but it is kind of interesting, right? That's like the Northern Lights are so
It's weird that we've never
magical
seen
and mystical, and like I don't know.
I bet it happens a lot over there.
It's interesting. Dano?
In the background as they're walking through the market, someone yells out, freshly baked potato flatbreads for sale. I'm listening. Can we, I don't know. This is an easily answerable one, but what is the Norwegian delight that is a potato flatbread? I want that, and I want to try it immediatamente. I want to try it right away. And I would love for someone to help me in that regard and point me in the correct direction for a Norwegian potato flatbread, please. That's all I've got.
And what are the toppings?
What are the toppings?
That's why those are my questions. This is a pure what the Hallmark, which is
sure,
like,
no.
Yeah, is it plain? Do we have some oil or butter on it? Are there toppings?
Preserves?
Is it rolled? I mean, it seems like the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. That's right.
You're limited only by your
sugar,
imagination.
You could go sea salt. There's a lot of things you can do there.
So many things. We did it, everybody. Congratulations to us. We're going to be back next week for a movie that came out last year called The Holiday List, which is, according to Google, fully.
God, those look good.
Oh, that does look good. A fully
Aaron
improvised
Shea Googling
movie.
these. Yeah.
A fully improvised movie, whatever that means, I don't know. But it is available on a handful of various streamers. So
It's going to have like Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles in it. Yeah.
Yeah, scenes from a hat breaks out. So look forward to that next week. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.